Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, it's hump day, and we are finally finished with that job. It took us about 3 days, but we had the right equipment and we took our time, did it right, didn't break nothing, so we're happy about that. So, start a new project tomorrow. We still have to load up all the debris, just waiting for the homeowner to pay me, so that's another thing. I always keep my debris at location until I get paid, because that's what really money comes out of pocket, to pick up the load. So anyway, I got some more stuff in the mail, so I figured I'd open it while I was talking. Wasn't as hot as it normally was today, so thank goodness. But we've been having a problem. I had a couple locks that I love these locks, but after a while they kind of get sticky. So I bought a few more to replace the ones that have been sticking, because there's nothing worse and nothing more frustrating than trying to get a lock open that you know the combination to, but you can't open. So I wish they would make these locks a little bit more rust resistant, so they would last longer. It seems like they last about 4 or 5 years, and then after that they get really rusted up. I put WD-40 in them a few times, helped a little bit, but eventually they just keep rusting out. So anyway, if you guys have any other ideas what to spray in here, because they're so nice and smooth when they're new, so nice. And then this little tiny tab right here, that plastic breaks off, and then you got a little tiny piece of metal, and you try to push it, and then you have like a screwdriver or something, you're trying to push it open, and it's like trying to push on can you imagine like a little piece of metal sticking out like that, and you're pushing on it with your fingers all day. It gets frustrating. So anyway, I got another box. Gonna open that. What I'm trying to do is everything I buy, I try to get different colors and color, that way you can identify it, because you have 10 of the same thing. One works, one doesn't, and then you get confused. You're like, what? This one doesn't work quite as good as that one. You don't know which is which, but I'm going to try a different. I had these before, and I kind of liked them, so I figured, you know what the heck. This will eliminate the problem. I wish they had different colors. I guess I'll just have to paint them different colors, but this will eliminate what I was just talking about. This little thing right here that opens and closes it. When these things get frozen up and this plastic piece breaks, all you have is a little tiny piece of metal to turn. So I bought this one because it was red. I'll have to paint it, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over to these. Now you have something you can actually put a wrench on if you had to, because this whole thing will turn. And what's nice about these is you can set your own combination, so that way if you have some that leaves the company, you can re-secure everything and switch all the combinations. You can make all the combinations different, all of them the same. There's areas of the truck you don't want someone in, you can have a different combination for your stuff. To the other stuff, you can put climbing gear. Maybe the climbing gear has different stuff, but it's nice because we only have like 2 or 3 people on the truck. So basically what we can do is set everything to where just that team 1 knows what it is, and then that way we can make it happen. So see that? This is the Brinks resettable combination lock, and what's nice is you can turn that whole thing. You can even turn it with one hand, and if you have to, you can put a wrench on that sucker, so that way you're not trying to push that one little thing with one of your little one of your little fingers. So if it gets stuck, you can put a wrench on it and turn it. So I think this will be a really good deal for us to have on the truck. And these are stainless. I'm not sure, these are supposed to be stainless. Then you can reset the combination in the back. So anyway, if you guys have, and they're not real expensive, that's another thing I like. Let's see, I got 3 of these for 38 bucks. And let's see, not sure how much the other one was, but they're only around 10 bucks if you buy them through Amazon. If you get them at the store, I've seen them as high as 30 bucks a piece. So we use at least, let's see, at least 3 or 4 padlocks on the bucket truck. We lock up the ropes, the chainsaws, climbing gear, and then the back gate. And then we have another one on the top gate. So these are excellent. What's nice about these is they're a little bit harder to cut. If you've seen anybody that basically has a lock cutter, it's hard to get in there and cut them. You almost need like a grinder, like a cordless grinder, to get in there to cut these. So these are a little bit more secure than your regular padlock, just because they're harder to get to cut. So I prefer these. It's easier to break the door open than to cut one of these locks. So if you guys have some trucks you leave at lunchtime or overnight at your shop, this will slow them down a little bit. So anyway, this is like a generic, there's no real name. Let's see what this one says. This is just it's just a personal lock, generic on Amazon. It's like around 10-12 bucks. And then I went ahead and I don't know if you guys have probably seen this before, but I went ahead and got another lanyard. And the reason I like these lanyards, I'll show you real quick on my daughter's chainsaw. This is her little it's her little chainsaw here. If I turn on it. So I cut my finger. Ah! Anyway, all right. These lanyards are really easy to use, and the reason I like them so much, they're made by Notch Equipment. One of the guys that used to work with us turned me on to these. I didn't know they existed. And there's other combinations you can use that'll work similar to this, but once you have this system, what I like about it is you can keep these on your saws, because a lot of times what I used to do, especially on my top handles, I'd put my lanyard on my saw, and it was such a pain in the butt to get them off. I would go ahead and I would leave the lanyard on the saw, and it would get in the way, and then I'd wrap around my arm, I'd wrap around the saw, and sometimes it would get bound up in the chain. I'd end up cutting it or messing it up. What's nice about these, you can basically put them on your chainsaw and leave them on there. And then it comes with extra sets. So you got one extra set, and they're kind of tight because they're new, but, and then there's 2 lanyards on here. So you can pop in both of them or just one of them. And then what's nice is once you're done with it, just pop it loose, and then you just put that, you leave that on there, and you can still work the saw without taking the little lanyard off. So you can leave this on there, and then you just get extra ones, and then you have extra ones on all your saws. And then what's nice too is when say you're up in a tree or you're up in the bucket truck or whatever, you can basically unclip your lanyard, keep the green part, send the saw down, and they can fuel it up, pass it back to you, and then reclip in. It saves a lot of time, especially if you're up there, you're tired, you're sore, you're old like me and you're too overweight, you want to eliminate all that nonsense of basically putting the lanyard on and off, because once they're on there and they're real tight, it takes a few seconds to pull these on and off, where if you just clip them in and out, it makes it easier on the ground guys. And then also too, if you have a bunch of these extra little handles, you can put on all your saws and leave them on there, so you never have to take them off unless you want to take them off to wash them. So I recommend these these notch lanyards. I mean, they're a little bit pricey, but they're definitely worth it. It was the Notch 52002 modular chainsaw lanyard, green. I got the salon and patio on, it was $29.96. So there it is right there, $29.96. It's definitely a good investment. You buy maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then you'll have 6 of these. So if you have 6 chainsaws, you can keep them on all your saws, even your ground saws, and then that way, say a chain comes off or one of your saws won't start, one of your ground guys can just grab one of their saws and toss it up to you, and you can clip in with your lanyard up on your bucket or when you're climbing. It just makes your life a lot easier. You got one system that on every single one of your saws, and I've been using this system for a little over a year, I think, maybe a year and a half, and I like it. The only problem is eventually I know this plastic will probably break, so you might have to replace the plastic, but I mean, it is what it is. If it lasts you 2 or 3 years, it's worth it. It might last a little longer, but at least there's 2 clips in case one breaks, you have a backup. So anyway, this is Roger with Roger's Reviews. I hope you like this video. If you do, please crush the like button and subscribe, and we'll bring you more little stuff that helps us in our business and helps our lives get a little easier. So until that time, I'm gonna, let's see if I can fire this up here. These are great little saws. Anyway, have a great day, and God bless, and stay safe out there.